Last week, we proved that three wooden troughs and some questionable Facebook Marketplace concrete blocks could successfully yield roughly enough mint to garnish a single baked potato. Which brings us to this week's national emergency. Because while I was busy fiddling about with herbs on the patio, the news headlines have turned their attention to a far more sinister global crisis: the humble potato. We are currently being warned of skyrocketing costs, agricultural supply failures, and catastrophic collapse in domestic crop yields. The experts in their boardrooms are telling us that growing our own staple is far too complex for ordinary mortals, while I refuse to sit idly by and pay luxury prices for dirt-colored carbohydrates. Today, we are leaving the patio behind and moving into the main garden beds to investigate the ultimate high-yield survival crop. We are going to grow potatoes. Let us examine the subject. The seed potato, to the uninitiated eye, it looks like a sad, sprouting pebble forgotten at the back of a kitchen cupboard. To a supply chain expert, it represents a logistical nightmare requiring international freight, cold storage because you have to keep the thing cold, and a £15 price tag at a trendy organic supermarket. To us, it is a quiet rebellion. We are going to plant these chitted potatoes deep into the earth them up as they grow, and let nature take its course, interrupted entirely by my own stubbornness. Do the heavy lifting, no corporate middlemen, no digital shipping trackers, just dirt, water, and time. Now, if you're going to grow potatoes in a semi detached garden under the constant, soul crushing threat of supermarket collapse, you cannot simply rely on dirt. You need a multi layered, geopolitical, sophisticated defense strategy, which is why I spent 4 hours this morning building a luxury 5-star penthouse apartment for local sparrows. You might ask yourself, what does ornithology have to do with a carbohydrate? Why am I doing the job of an avian estate agent when I should be tending to my roots? Well, this isn't just a birdhouse. This is an armed masonry outpost. Let us trace the logistics. Step 1, we build the birdhouse. Step 2, we invite the local wildlife to take up residence rent-free in exchange for loyalty. Step 3, the sparrows arrive, attracted by the prime real estate and the lack of council tax. Step 4, those sparrows look down from their luxury balcony, spot the fat, juicy, semi-aquatic garden slug, treating my precious emerging potato shoots like an all-you-can-eat midnight buffet, and they execute a high-velocity tactical airstrike. The slug is annihilated, the potato is saved, and the multi-billion pound global supply chain has been entirely bypassed by a pigeon with a housing grant. This is brilliant. It is completely unhinged, and if the supermarket executives had any sense, they'd fire their logistics directors and hire a family of blue tits. This process is remarkably straightforward, which naturally makes me suspicious. You bury them deep, you cover them over, and then you wait. I'm sitting here on a semi detached plot doing it for the price of a bag of seed potatoes from a local garden centre. If this works, we aren't just saving money on our roast dinner, we are proving that the entire corporate food network, the whole thing, is completely, utterly unnecessary. For a basic human carbohydrate, carbs, so the potatoes are in the ground. The challenge has been set.
Any proper agricultural rebel will tell you that a successful harvest requires absolute scientific rigor, which is why instead of buying expensive certified seed potatoes from the trendy garden centre, I simply took a couple of sad, wrinkly, sprouting baking potatoes that had been lurking at the back of my kitchen cupboard in the dark shadows of despair. I didn't plant the whole tuber, I merely hacked off the sprouting skins, flung them into the ground like an illiterate peasant, and waited to see what capitalism would do about it. And behold, the triumph of the kitchen scrap. 10 kilograms of flawless high-grade potatoes born entirely from kitchen waste and spite. Is it crispy?
Potato crisp.
Yes. Does it taste like victory over corporate logistics? Exquisitely. Can the experts in their London boardrooms match this level of culinary self-reliance? Not a chance.
These are crisps made from homemade potatoes. Potato crisps.
Either way, the experts in London had better watch their backs because the semi-detached revolution has just gone underground. Of course, the global supply chain has plenty more failures on the horizon, and until the multinationals finally figure out how to feed us without charging a ransom for dirt-colored carbohydrates, I'll be out here waiting for the next headline.